Welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Winnie. I recently graduated from UChicago, and this is my video about how hard is UChicago and is it really a place where fun goes to die? So I've been reading a couple comments online, and I've heard a lot of people say they are worried that they won't like UChicago. One, because of grade deflation, it's super challenging. The courses are really rigorous, hard to handle, and you have a hard time. And two, it's where fun goes to die because there aren't that many parties or social events. People seem more secluded and just like a study hard type versus like outgoing or event planner type situations. And I guess to address the first part, grade deflation. It is definitely not easy to get an A, but once you do get one, you will feel so proud of yourself because you deserve it. And of course, it depends on the professors or classes you take. Some might be easier than others, or even by professor preference. Some grade on a bell curve. Some say that only the top 10% will get an A. Anyone else is like B, etc. Other classes might round to a B minus, some don't. So I really think it depends on the curriculum you take and also how you handle the classes, how much you like it and are passionate about it. I think a lot of us come from schools or high schools where we get straight A's and we're just used to it. But when we suddenly start getting like C's or B's or even D's, then it's like a huge shock and surprise to us because it's not what we're used to. And there's no doubt the homework is definitely much harder. You cannot just Google and find an answer that easily. You have to read, go to office hours, meet with the TA, etc. to get that grade. And of course, like collaborate with your peers and teammates. Everyone here is super gifted and talented. It's just more of like building those deeper relationships and working together as a group to get the answer you need. So what I would say is, if you are worried about the grades, I think you should put it more into perspective and just know that, like, if you did your best and you earned like a B, you should be proud of that B. Like, it is very hard across the board. And I asked all of my friends when I was in college, and they had similar scores as me, or if not better. But don't always think of yourself as just a grade. Like, I think when I was in high school, I used to, my day would be super ruined if I got like a B or a C on a test or something. And while yes, it's important, but don't let it control your life. You know, like, accept that negative emotion and thought that goes through your head, like, wow, I could have done better, or maybe I should have studied more, but don't let it control everything that happens afterwards. So basically have a forward-looking vision is my advice to you. Like, if something's too challenging, maybe pick a different topic or course next time. Switch it up, you know, like keep yourself challenged, stimulated, and always curious about the world. I think don't let your love of learning and passion die. And also, book plug, Malcolm Gladwell wrote this book called David and Goliath, and it talks about like the advantages and disadvantages people might face in going to different schools, like state schools versus Ivy League schools, and how some people compare themselves relative to their peers. So when they're at like a really competitive school and start to get bad grades, they might not continue pursuing their passion. Like, for example, if you're studying biology and you fail that lab course, you might be like, wow, well, maybe science isn't for me, but then it just takes you off course into what you truly desire just because that class didn't work out. So I would say, like, keep your hopes up and don't just let one obstacle or challenging course stop you from doing what you really want to do. Never lose sight of that end goal, and you should be fine. Okay, so the other thing is that students are secluded. I wouldn't say that's true. I feel like, yes, the main hangout is the library, the Regenstein Library and Mansueto. On Harper Memorial Library, you'll find a ton of students there always like researching or working on group projects together, and I think it's nice to have that kind of environment. But of course, there's also like mixers or parties held by sororities, fraternities to meet and mingle. There's also like frat parties once in a while. You could also meet people at So I wouldn't say it's too secluded. I think it's the right environment where if you wanted to make friends and go out there, put yourself out there, you definitely can. Or even go downtown to the city and explore. Or you could just stay in your room and study. You can also do that, but I would recommend building a network at the same time because these people are your classmates. They're here with you throughout these 4 years. You share that experience together, so why not do it together? Okay. So, is it a lot of pressure to be in school? Yes, it is. Because everyone is super smart. So when you ask people what they're up to, they always have like a million things, maybe a ton of clubs. And my advice to you, don't compare yourself to others. Just focus on your goals, how you will get there, and you will be fine. And if you can make upperclassmen friends, then they could also be your mentors and help you along the way, recommend classes for you. So yeah, always keep an open mind and form connections. Okay, so I see online someone said people are stressed out at UChicago. I would say it depends on your journey. So what classes you take, what professors you choose to take it from, what clubs you're involved in, how much you're balancing in what quarter. So it can be as stressful as you make it, or you can dial it down yourself and separate the priorities. So for example, if you know that you struggle with math and science courses or quant stuff, maybe when you take 2 classes of quant in that quarter, don't do that many clubs. Push it off for spring quarter instead of winter. Or maybe if you know your club has major events happening like a fashion show in the spring, then maybe you should take all your classes in the winter, just like when we hibernate and stay inside, just do all your homework then, and then take more light classes or lighter workload courses in the spring and do your clubs then. So I would say it's all down to time management, prioritization, and what you find most important. You know yourself the best. So, I mean, people are not perfect, they're not good at everything. So don't try to overload yourself because you will just burn out, stress out, and feel like you can't get anything done. But if you're able to do it all at once, kudos to you. But I think for me, I like to always manage my expectations and do as most that I know that I can and challenge myself instead of just loading too much on and feeling burnt out. Okay, so people said they heard horrible things about the core. I disagree with that. I think the core, there are many options. You don't always have to take the same one as other people. I've talked about it in another video for the core curriculum where I go in depth about the courses I took and also the options available to you. I don't think it's bad. I think the core, I put it all in the first and second year of my college, and I feel like it was a good way to bond with my classmates because if we took the same classes and there's something we can talk about despite being in different majors. So I liked it as a bonding experience, and also it just opens your mind to more topics that you wouldn't necessarily consider. Like I did astronomy for my physical science requirement, and that was something that I know I would probably not do a job there, but it was a really interesting topic and that I wanted to learn about space, black holes, everything. So it was nice to be able to have that option. How much work there is, I don't know how other colleges give work too much, but I would say, again, the work is really up to you and how much you enjoy that course and find it easy to understand. I think the work is how much effort you want to put in that one class, and also if it comes easy to you, like you're naturally good at humanities or reading comprehension, then it probably will take you like an hour to do the homework versus someone else would take 3 hours. So there's that. And I think like for art classes, you get like a final project, a midterm project where you make a portfolio of different artworks you design. And I would say that is all up to you, how much effort you want to put in, how creative you want to go. It could be a simple sculpture, or you could go wild. It could be a photography, etc., a video. So it all depends on what kind of impact you want to make on that class and what statement your portfolio is meant to have. What's the message? So I think a lot of it is, how much effort you personally want to put yourself in that class. Because if you're going to be like a future software engineer, of course you better aim for like straight A's in your computer science courses, or at least like understand the material well enough that you would learn it on your own or go above and beyond. So I've also seen that some people have said UChicago is a bad place for mental health. And I think with everything that's been going on in recent years, it has invested a lot more in its student services to offer those resources and support for students. So I think it can be tough on your mental health, for sure, absolutely. It's challenging. You see other people who are super talented. It makes you feel like you should be doing more or being better and the best version of yourself. I feel like even though it is a collaborative environment, yes, there is some healthy competition in there, and I think that's inevitable anywhere you go. People want to be the best and rank number one, so yes, I would say it is tough on mental health. But I think it's also possible to take care of yourself and do things that make you feel good. Like help you just de-stress, meet with friends, family, taking trips, or going downtown for a quick break, doing yoga or sport, meditation, exercises. I think there's always things that you can control and things that are outside of your control that you can use to help improve your mental health. And make sure that you're getting what you want out of this experience and not being dragged down by it. And I'll probably go more in depth about this in a different video, but that's my comment on it for now. Oh, another thing I've noticed is that people might brag about like, oh, I pulled an all-nighter last night, or I only slept 2 hours. And I don't think you need to compare yourself on that level. Sleeping less is not a good indicator of success in the long run. I think do what works for you and have the right balance for work life. And you'll definitely find it necessary when you start jobs as well. Getting that 8 hours of sleep should not make you feel bad at all. I think you should think of it more as like an investment. Like if I get this sleep, I will be energized, ready tomorrow to study and cram, or even just pay more attention in class and be more alert and participate more. So I don't think that the culture of overworking should be promoted that much, and you should always do what works best for you. So thank you again for watching. That's all for today. And this video is made possible by viewers like you. So thank you. And comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what else that you would like me to cover next.